democracy.
Right.
So if not for yourselves, if not for your children,
Right.
go out and vote in honor of those people who go out and demonstrate in the streets.
Yeah, and also for American soldiers that are over there dying
Absolutely,
too. I mean,
absolutely.
vote in their honor. Why not? Why
Absolutely.
not vote in their honor? Because they're the ones who are suffering. And where do you see things go? I mean, I know you have a big family and you guys talk all the time. I mean, where do you see things going these days with the chaos in the Middle East? I mean,
well, sadly, I don't see too many enlightened leaders. That's the problem.
Right. It goes to the leaders, huh?
Yeah, I think, well, because unfortunately they're the ones ultimately that make the decisions.
Right.
And you know, not too many leaders listen to people.
Right. That's what it seems like these days. But
you know, in Iran in particular, I think that the government there, like all dictatorships, has an expiration date. I don't know how it's going to change the regime, but it's not going to last forever.
Right, an expiration date.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice. If we could just replace them like Budweiser,
right?
Some beer. That's great. There's let me see, who was it? There's one of your relatives, Ardashir. Does he still talk to you?
You know, it's funny is that relative is the only person whose name I changed in the book.
Oh, is that right?
Because I wrote about a very embarrassing habit that he had as a child.
Right.
And when I wrote the book, he was single.
Okay.
And I thought, if I write about him and he never gets married,
yeah,
I'm going to get the blame for it.
He's going to blame you.
So I changed his name and his profession, but he's the only person whose name and profession I changed.
So he still talks to you.
And he got married.
He did. So. That's great. Actually, when you got married, your husband is from France,
right.
Is that correct? You got married, and there was a babysitter who ended up coming to your wedding, catching the bouquet. Did she get married?
No.
Oh, okay. Have you kept up with this?
No, because I never knew her. I mean, one of the things I wrote about in the book is that when you get married in the summer, Iranians who always have house guests just kind of bring them along to your wedding.
Right.
And so we discovered this the hard way because we had all these extra guests at our wedding. And the woman who caught my bouquet, I had no idea who she was.
Yeah, right.
No idea.
Well, hopefully she's read your book and.
Well, actually, I hope not because
really?
I didn't realize that she never got married, and I felt a little bad.
She caught your bouquet.
Your bouquet clearly means nothing, though.
I see.
Right. And that was 15 years ago, and.
Iranian culture, that's interesting. What else? What are some other experiences with getting your book published that you can maybe point out to people? What are some of the other challenges?
Well, you know, I've had an opportunity to travel throughout the United States, which has been really exciting for me. And what I meet over and over again are just people telling me that my stories are their stories.
Right.
And these are people from all backgrounds. I mean, I met a woman from Minnesota. She said, you know, we've been here for several generations and your family's just like my family. And I mean, I just hear this from Indians and Iranians and Germans and Indonesians. And I've always known that we as humans have way more commonalities than we have differences.
Right, right.
So it's interesting to just get that constant feedback. And I have to tell you, about a month ago, I got an email that really stood out for me. There's a gentleman from Cleveland, Ohio, who is a director of a nursing home, a Jewish nursing home. And he told me that most of the residents where he works have Alzheimer's or dementia.
Okay.
And he said, so once a week, the director started reading stories from Funny and Farsi to them. And he said what started happening is that all these people who had nothing to say started remembering their stories. And he said, you know, of course, an hour later they forget it again.
Right.
But he said what's amazing is these people all of a sudden have so much to say that we have started writing them down.
Right.
And in spring of this year, they're going to have a performance.
Right.
And they're going to read their stories.
Are they really?
So I was really touched by that.
Okay. Yeah, that is inspirational. Well, it is. I mean, you read it, and but you've had some interesting experiences. I mean, you know, you've lived in Iran, and you went. You were one of the first people, one of the first Iranian families to come to the United States. So you were kind of at the forefront of stuff, and in terms of actually experience American culture.
Right.
And, but I see a lot in common when reading about your family. It just reminds me. It sounds like it could be an Italian family.
Of course.
You know, I mean, it seems like there's a lot in common there. Could be a French family.
Absolutely.
You know, so there is a lot in common, and it is inspirational. What are you working on now? Have you thought about writing a? I don't want to keep emphasizing the point of children's books, but I think there would be some beautiful work coming from you in that area. Have you thought of that?
I'm actually putting together a one-woman show right now.
Okay, a one-woman show.
Yes.
What does that mean?
That means that I stand on a stage for an hour and 15 minutes or an hour and a half and tell stories.
Okay. Are you being a comedian? Are you a stand-up comic, or is it you're just?
Well, it's similar to the book. You know,
Okay.
I didn't set out to write a book that was funny. but it came out funny. I really hoped that I was going to teach something, and I think that I did. I think that if you read the book and you laugh, you also learn something.
Right.
So the show is going to be very similar.
I see. Yeah, and when does that start? When do you?
Tentatively slated for spring.
For spring 2005.
No. Yes, 2005.
2005. That's right. The time is going by so fast.
It is. Wow, 2005 sounds like so far in the future.
And you will then go around the country? Is that what that is?
Well, it depends. If it's a flop, no. It might just be one evening and you never hear of it again.
Right.
So.
And what about the movie? I mean, are you a consultant? Did they invite you to be a consultant?
Well,
on
we
this?
haven't gotten that far. Right
Okay.
now, all we're doing is negotiating somebody optioning it for 1 year. So we're at the very, very beginning stages of the movie, if it happens.
Okay. And what does that mean to option something?
That means somebody buys the right for 1 year to buy it and then see what they're going to do with it.
Okay. Terrific. And it looks like we're getting ready to run out of time here. What does your father do? He's retired these days?
He's retired.
Yeah, he's been, I guess, getting a lot of attention from this because it really is so charming to read about him. It's just so funny to read about his story. He's taking all this in. I mean,
he loves it.
He loves it.
He loves it. The only bad thing to it is now he thinks he's very funny.
Yeah.
And so now he tries to be funny all the time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really work.
Yeah.
And so I keep telling him, Dad, you were funny when you didn't try to be funny.
Right.
But now, he's just on all the time, and he just tells stories nonstop.
Is that right? Is he still bowling for dollars?
No, he gave up bowling after the story that I wrote. He gave it up.
Did he really?
Yeah. After that embarrassment on national television, he decided his bowling days were over.
We're over. It looks pretty funny. So, okay. Well, it looks like we're out of time here. Firoozeh, it's been really great talking to you.
Thank you.
It's so inspirational, and I wish you the best in your future endeavors, and keep inspiring people with writing. So with that, I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks very much to my crew for helping out. Thanks to Firoozeh Dumas for coming on to talk about her story. And like Firoozeh's dad says, please, if you're an American, consider yourself American, go out and vote, because it's so important. So thanks again, and Koda Hafiz. Bye.
London's calling and I'm still yawning, but I can't do what I'm doing about it. Just do what I'm doing. London's calling and I'm still yawning, but I can't think more than I've been thinking about it. So I sing what I'm singing. London's calling and I'm still yawning, but I can't do more than what I did. You gotta take me, come on, shake me. You gotta love somebody to be free.